This is to advise the general public that in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the Little Lake Harbor Board of Education meeting was advertised in the Asbury Park Press, Atlantic City Press, and posted at the office of the Board of Education located at 305 Frog Pond Road, Little Lake Harbor, New Jersey, and posted at the office of the Municipal Clerk of Little Lake Harbor. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ciccone?
Here.
Mr. Villacella?
Here.
Ms. Lawrence?
Here.
Mr. LeShega?
Here.
Dr. Snyder?
Here.
Ms. Martin?
Here.
Ms. Erford?
Here. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Recommend a motion to accept the following minutes. Can I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Second. Any questions?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Public comment number 1, agenda items only. The Board of Education now welcomes the public to comment on the items which are on the agenda tonight. It may not always be able or possible or appropriate for the board to directly answer questions during the public comment period. Each speaker is allotted a maximum of 3 minutes to make their statement. No one may speak more than once on the same topic. You are required to give your name, address before you speak. Please keep your comments respectful and non-defamatory and maintain the level of decorum appropriate for a public meeting where minors may be in the audience. Would anyone like to speak on the agenda? Okay, seeing none. Go to correspondence, informational items. Any questions on those? And okay, we'll move on. Committee reports. I guess I will go first, since we're reporting tonight because some of us didn't share our notes. Policy committee met on October 7th. We reviewed 6 policies that were on the communicator. They're on the agenda for first read tonight. Most of them were updates, mandated updates. And for instance, our food services one, I think was dated 2005. So that was updated by and correlates with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. We discussed the upcoming New Jersey QSAC info as well. And what I put on for the next agenda is the Code of Conduct. I would just like to review that policy. It's also pretty old, and currently we have the same Code of Conduct book in both schools. And so that's something that's upcoming that we'll be reviewing. And let me see, anything else I missed? That was it. That's it for me. Policies are on the agenda for first read, and then we have some for second read and adoption that we've had for a month. Okay, how about finance or curriculum?
Co-curriculum committee met on October 2nd. Myself, Greg, Dr. Antunes, and Melissa Gallagher, we met. And the following things were discussed. First of all, we discussed the NJSLA data results, which Melissa is going to present to the public and the board tonight. We also talked about the New Jersey Department of Education LEHR mandates. The district is actively communicating with the K-3 families in reference to the M-Class DIBELS ELA universal screener. Letters are going to go out with information for the children's results. They're going to go out soon. We discussed the ESS, the Effective School Solutions Counseling Service. report cards transitioning to no paper unless requested, and addressing the chronic absenteeism, which Dr. Antunes has talked about previously. And then finally, as you mentioned, TSAC is done. That's it. That was it for us.
I'll go. The Personnel Committee met on September 23rd. In attendance was myself, Dr. Snyder, and Greg, along with Dr. Antunes, Carl, and Mrs. Tresolino. So we talked about quite a few things, including some grievance matters that needed attention, talked about paraprofessionals and hiring them moving forward, just with benefits and their hourly rate, discussed the current vacancies that the district has and different salary ranges, and then also talked about our lead nurse and a stipend, and then lastly just addressed some personnel issues in regard to social media. And that's it for personnel.
Thank you.
Okay.
Finance.
For finance, we discussed a lot of things. We discussed the cafeteria, purchasing a kettle, a large kettle. Some maintenance projects that we're going to be addressing over the course of this school year. The ROD grant update and how we're receiving those funds, along with our pursuance of potential solar project since they have opened up the grid in Little Egg Harbor. Also too, regarding the audit, hopefully in the next couple weeks, definitely by the next board meeting, we should have an update on that as to where we stand fiscally. We talked about our transportation and the purchase of the minibuses. We also discussed QSAC, along with attendance officer position, also to a temporary position for the upcoming year to address the attendance issues, along with cybersecurity, along with review of our electricity usage and how we're using it currently and how we could potentially be more efficient moving forward. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving forward to superintendent's report, please.
Thank you, Mr. So we had our final back to school night. ECC's back to school night was on October 2nd with Dr. Flynn. It was great to welcome so many parents and our youngest learners to school in order to visit with their child's teachers. The night was a success. It was crowded, and we're looking forward to seeing you more often as the year progresses. We get these New Jersey health links that come to the districts every week or so, and right now the one that seems to be taking over is measles. It's a serious and very contagious respiratory disease caused by a virus, and before the measles vaccine became available, it was a common childhood disease. It's considered one of the most deadly of all childhood rash and fever illnesses, and symptoms include rash, high fever, cough, runny nose, and red watery eyes. All suspected and confirmed cases of measles have to be immediately reported to the local Department of Health. But measles is easily spread through the air when an infected person talks, coughs, or sneezes. It's so contagious that if one person has it, up to 9 out of 10 people around them will also become infected if they're not protected. It can live on contaminated surfaces and in the air for up to 2 hours. And an infected person, like with many viruses, can spread measles to others even before knowing they have the disease. So we continue to implement healthy habits in school, encouraging frequent hand washing, habits such as covering the mouth and nose with a tissue at your elbow, not sharing utensils, water bottles, or other items. And as new cases of measles throughout New Jersey are being reported, we're just making sure that everybody takes precautions and that we're doing it as well. Thank you.
Thank you for that update. All right, presentations. Student of the Month by George J. Mitchell. Administrators, please. That's up next.
Good evening. The character trait for the month of September was friendship. All the students who were chosen based on that trait. First up, Carson Pastrick. Miss Flynn said, Carson is a kind and helpful kindergarten student who truly shows the character trait of friendship. Carson is always ready to include others in play, share his toys, and help his classmates when they need a hand. He makes sure everyone feels welcome and valued, spreading kindness with his smile and thoughtful actions. Carson's caring nature helps make our classroom a fun and supportive place for everyone. Next is Jason Albertson. Mrs. Cuccinello said, Jason is a soaring first grader who consistently shows kindness, empathy, and friendship in our classroom. He has a caring heart and always is the first to encourage his friends with words like, good job, and you got this. Jason is quick to offer help to a classmate in need and treats everyone with respect. Jason's thoughtful and supportive nature makes him a true role model and a great friend to all. I feel so lucky to have him in my class. Keep soaring, Jason. Next is Ryan Daskalakis. Ryan is a very kind and thoughtful student who consistently demonstrates kindness and empathy towards his classmates. He has a kind heart, and it shows during all parts of the school day towards his peers. Ryan is a great friend to everyone. He is a hard worker and very respectful towards his teachers and classmates. Keep up the wonderful work. And Brian Salters.
It's hard to get in here. I have to run outside with the dirt.
Brian is a kind and caring student who works and plays well with his classmates. He shows respect, helps others, and brings a positive attitude to the classroom. Brian also has a big love for animals and enjoys learning about them.
Everybody just keeps laughing.
You mean I can never get a natural shot of it?
That's all right. As long as we just. Ryan, Ryan, look. That's not what's in your. Okay, there you go.
And the ribbons are coming. They were inadvertently left on the desk. They are coming.
All right, good evening, everyone. It is time for the Frog Pond School Students of the Month. Students, if you are here, please come forward. We're going to start in third grade. We have 2 third graders. We're going to start with Luke Chaplin from Mrs. Savage's room. Mrs. Savage says that she is excited to Announced Luke as Student of the Month. She nominated Luke because from the moment he walked into the third grade classroom, he has shown to be hardworking, kind, intelligent, and helpful to his classmates and teacher. Luke understands the expectations for the Frog Pond School and models appropriate classroom behavior and work habits for his peers. You can tell he enjoys learning, and Mrs. Savage says she can't wait to see what he does this entire school year. Congratulations to Luke, and keep up the great work. Our second third grader is from Mrs. Barrett's classroom, Michael Mulkeen. Is Michael here? I don't think so. Mrs. Barrett says, Michael always follows all of our class rules and school rules. He completes all of his assignments on time. I'm not sure I do that. Good job, Michael. He is eager to learn new things every day. He helps his peers follow directions by setting a good example and reminding them what rules are for. When it's specials, Michael's very respectful and interacts well with his peers from other classes. He is a leader in Mrs. Barrett's class that meets all of the expectations without reminders. We are excited to have him in our class this year. So another round of applause for Michael. Moving up to fourth grade from Mrs. Lupo's room, Madison Childs. Come on up, Madison. Mrs. Lupo says Madison has been doing a fantastic job settling into our classroom routines and expectations. She's kind, hardworking, and overall great role model for our class. Mrs. Lupo can always count on her to lend a helping hand, whether it's for a teacher or a fellow student. She's honest and dependable, a great resource for other students in our classroom. For this reason, it is without reservation Mrs. Lupo nominates Madison Child as her September Student of the Month. Moving on to fifth grade in Mrs. Cauca's classroom, Riley Cassidy. Mrs. Caucus says our school year has just begun, and Riley's already made a wonderful impression, walking in circles around a wonderful impression in her classroom. She's an incredibly kind, observant, and empathetic student who consistently goes out of her way to help both her classmates and her teacher. Whether it's offering a snack or school supplies to someone who may need some, maybe reminding Mrs. Cauca of the tasks that need to be completed, or gently including others in a group, she's always showing thoughtfulness in everything she does. Academically, Riley always puts forth her best effort, so her combination of kindness, responsibility, and dedication make her truly deserving of Student of the Month. And I saw Jack in the back from Mrs. Arnold, grade 6. Jack Creer, come on down. Jack Creer is, without a doubt, Mrs. Arnold's pick for the first sixth grade Student of the Month for the 25-26 school year. He is a student who displays the Frog Pond core values of being safe, respectful, and responsible in everything that he does. Jack comes to school each day with a smile on his face, a positive attitude, an inquisitive nature, and a desire to learn. He's determined to figure things out, even if they're challenging. He possesses a unique ability to find a balance between socializing with friends, but also being productive throughout the day. Mrs. Arnold and Ms. Laterio, her partner teacher, are pleased to have the opportunity to watch Jack learn and grow this sixth grade year. Very nice work.
Thank you. We're very proud of all of you. Next up on the agenda is Mrs. Gallagher with the New Jersey School Learning Assessment. results. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. So tonight I'm going to present to you the NJSLA Lily Harbor data results. I am really proud of the growth that our district has shown this year. The students and teachers, in my opinion, did a great job. So here's a score interpretation of ELA and math. For meeting expectations, you need to get a 750, and for science, you need to get above a 200 for proficient. So we're going to first talk about ELA. So the total number of students who were tested were 765 students, and we had an increase in fourth grade of 32 students. So you're going to see in the presentation, I'm going to be circling a lot in orange. That's to really identify what we're going to be looking at the data tonight. This is a breakdown by grade level. So for third grade ELA, we had 31% that met or exceeded expectations. In fourth grade, we had 46 who met or exceeded expectations. Fifth grade, we had 46%, and then sixth grade, we had 55% who met or exceeded expectations. So as you can see, as the years progress, our numbers did improve. The next slide has a lot of information. There's a lot of data here, and really wanted to look at the change of level 1 and level 2 to level 4 and level 5. So level 1 and level 2 is not meeting or partially meeting, and I wanted to show you how we improved in ELA. So for second grade, we improved by 2.1%. For fourth grade, we went up 0.1%. Fifth grade, we improved by 7.2%, and sixth grade, we improved by 12.3% from to meeting and exceeding expectations. As a district in ELA, we improved 5.7%. The next slide is comparing it to the state. So as you can see, for third, fifth, and sixth, we did improve above the state. We are narrowing those gaps. We are getting where we need to be. So fourth grade, we did drop a little bit, but that was our highest scores the previous year, and I wanted to dive into that. So the next slide, you see the difference. So even though it doesn't, these are the same students, same cohort, different grade level. So when we look at third grade for fourth grade, last year only 29% met and exceeded expectations, but this year 47.6% met or exceeded expectations. So I kind of wanted to dive into fourth grade so you can see that even it might look like we decreased, we didn't decrease, we did improve. The next slide I wanted to show a more narrowing the gap where we're at. So we have the Little Egg Harbor compared to the average state score. So this year, compared to last year in third grade, we improved by 4 points. The state only improved by 1. For fourth grade, we went down, but we were really high last year, and the state didn't do anything. Fifth grade, we improved by 7 points. The state stayed the same. And sixth grade, we improved by 7 points. The state stayed the same. I also wanted to highlight that in fifth and sixth grade, we did achieve higher level 4 expectations than the state as well. So now's the breakdown by our races. Our black population is 4% of our population, and 29% met or exceeded expectations. We have 10% of our Hispanic population, 36% met or exceeded expectations. For multiple races, we had 33% met or exceeded expectations, and then 79% is our white population, 47% met or exceeded expectations. The next is by gender. So female for ELA, 47% met or exceeded expectations, and then for female, we had 41% that met or exceeded expectations in males. Next is by our subgroup programs. So ELL is 2% of our population and 13% met expectations. 54% of our district is free and reduced lunch, and 39% met or exceeded expectations. 8% is Section 504, and 38% met or exceeded expectations. 25% is special ed, and we had 13%. And then our general population, we had 62% met or exceeded expectations, and that is 33% of our population is our general ed. So next we're going to talk about math. We had 766 students who took the math assessment, and again, an increase in fourth grade with 32 students. And then by grade level. So we had 35% in grade 3 who met or exceeded expectations. We had 32% who met or exceeded expectations in fourth grade. In fifth grade, we had 40% who met or exceeded expectations. In fifth grade, we had in sixth grade, we had 42%. And then in all grades, we had 37%. So again, as the years are progressing, we are hitting higher percentages for meeting and exceeding. All right, so now we have our level 1 to 2 and how we changed to level 4 and 5. So if we look at grade 2, we improved by 2%. Fourth grade, we did decline a little bit, which we'll get more into later on. But again, they were our highest grade last year. Fifth grade, we improved by 4.6% from level 1, level 2 to level 3, or 4 or 5, excuse me. And then in sixth grade, we increased by 14%, which is a very high amount. As a district, we improved by 3.6%. So again, this slide is showing we are narrowing the gap. We have a big percentage in third and fifth who are approaching, so they're just a couple questions away from passing the NJSLA. So now we compare it to the state. If you look at fifth grade, we were 4.6, the state was 4.1, and sixth grade, the state was 3.5%, we were 14%. So again, we're narrowing that gap. When we look at fourth grade, it's again same cohort, moving students in the right direction again. Last year we were 34.7% meeting or exceeding, where this year we were 34.5%. And then we also reduced our not meeting expectations. We were 13% last year, and this year we were 8.8%. So we're continuing to close that gap. Next is comparing our average to the state average. So in third grade, we were 739. We improved by 4 points. The state only improved by 1. In fourth grade, we did go down a little bit, but we just discussed that. Fifth grade, we improved by 8 points. The state only improved by 4. And then sixth grade, we improved by 10 points. We were actually above the state average this year. So we were 34.9% that met expectations. In fifth and sixth grade, that was above the state average. And in sixth grade, we weren't too far off of where exceeded expectations was. So next is by race. So we had 27% of Black who met or exceeded expectations. We had 26% of Hispanic population, 35% of multiple races, and 40% of white population who met or exceeded expectations. For by gender, our female population, we had 34% who met or exceeded expectations, and 41% male who met or exceeded expectations. And both are pretty similar in approaching. Next is by subgroups. So ELO, again, is 2% of our population. We had 16% who met expectations. For free and reduced lunch, that's 54% of our population. We had 28%. For Section 504, we had 32% who exceeded or met expectations. Our special ed was 19%, which is 25% of our population. And then our general ed was 55% who met or exceeded, and that is 33% of our population in the district. Next is NJSLA Science. So this is only fifth grade that is tested, and we have approximately 186 students. Majority of our students, 40%, were near proficiency. We have 23% who met or exceeded expectations, and this is still, when I said this last year, it's still a state issue for science. Science is an issue across the state with testing results. But we are moving in the right direction. If we look at our proficient, near proficient, and advanced proficient, we improved by 5.6% from level 1, 2 to level 3, 4. And we actually improved more than the state did. The state improved by 2.5%. The next slide states that our average scores was 165. We improved by 8 points this year. where the state is 173 and they improved by 4 points. So we aren't too far off what the state was for the level of proficient. We were 2.8% off. Next is the state breakdown by race. So we have a majority of Hispanic was near proficient or below proficiency. We had 11% Hispanic who were proficient, 31% multiple races proficient, and 26% proficient or advanced proficient. For female and male, for gender, we had 18% who were proficient or advanced proficient, and 28% male who were proficient or advanced. And then lastly is our by subgroups. We had a free and reduced lunch, 13% was proficient, 36% section 504 proficient, 13% special ed, and then 35% general ed. ELO, we could not get results on that because we had less than 10. We also have dynamic learning maps, which our students who are most significantly intellectually disabled take an assessment. Because we are under 10 students, we do not report that. It protects our student confidentiality. Okay, so what we're doing next. So what we're doing is working, which is great. So our math, we are in third year implementation for iReady. We're going to continue using iReady. It has my path for each student for 45 minutes a week, which really dives into the specific skills needed to help those students. And then in K2, we're focusing on the math calendar. ELA, we did get a universal literacy screener this year, which is DIBELS, and that is done through K6. Again, targeting specific skills that are needed to help our students grow. We are in our second year of Wonder's ELA program in K5, and WonderWorks program we have in grades K2. We brought it to second grade this year, and that's in our resource and self-contained classes. So it's an easy adjustment if a student goes from resource or self-contained to an A-class support class. Also, we're using Hegarty in grades K1, which focuses on phonemic awareness, and Foundations in K3, which focuses on the phonics instruction. We have Beatable that targets Lexile levels, and we're using Just Words and Orton Gillingham programs for our Tier 3 interventions. We are implementing WIN in George Mitchell this year, which means What I Need Now. It's a period to really target specific skills for our students that the teachers can pull small group instruction. And we're doing the same in Frog Pond, which is an RTI period. So utilizing Slenders and focusing on student data. We are strengthening our MTSS program. I'm working with Dr. Eiler with the special ed piece of it. We are working collaboratively together to really hone in on targeted interventions. We have our ASI supports to target our at-risk students in personalized instruction. We are being consistent with our curriculum. We are utilizing iExcel, which is a supplemental resource that targets specific skills in ELA and in math. Myself and the building level administrators are collaborating with new teachers to really focus on our data, utilize our new programs, and target small group instruction, and also discuss future professional development. And they are also working with our professional learning communities. And then lastly, we're focusing on cross-curricular activities for Wonders. We have science and social studies implemented in our program, and then science, we have some iReady as well. And that's it. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you said that science is something that the state struggles with, not just us.
Correct.
Being that our competitors in different countries really focus on science and technology and stuff, why do you think it's such a struggle for students?
I don't know if it's a struggle. I don't want to say it's a struggle for students. I think how things are being implemented. So I think the state is really looking into the implementation of science, how the standards are implemented and at what grade levels. It was done by grade bands previously. So I think we really need to hone in on what needs to be done at each grade level. And additionally, how the state testing is different than what we're doing in our classes too. It's project-based learning, but when you're sitting in front of an assessment, it's a little bit different.
So what we're learning in the class isn't necessarily tested?
I'm not saying it's not tested. It is tested. I think it's just that how our state tests are is very different than what we're implementing with our project-based learning, doing experiments. It's very reading heavy content as well. So students who have trouble with reading or have disabilities are struggling with this science assessment.
Your side, Professor Biology, what do you see?
Well, I think I mean, I have to thank all of my little ed, special ed teachers that showed me how to break down problems, give a model problem, how to dissect a word problem into science. And so that's what I use when I teach my students. So it's something I learned from them. And that seems to work well. If I show them a step and they can memorize the steps and how it translates, that helps them because it gives them something to expect, and it doesn't, because word problems make up until the collegiate level, make students nervous. Mm-hmm. And so it's not, you're not assessing necessarily their ability to solve a science problem. It's their ability to comprehend. And comprehension of science is very different than comprehension of a short story. Right. It's just a different piece. So, sorry, not to be more about that.
So I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, first of all, I was very happy to see that there's a little difference between males and females in a lot of the areas, like that we're bridging that gap.
Yes.
Personally. But, go ahead, you can answer because maybe yours is the same. Okay.
Great job.
Thank you.
I've noticed there's significant growth in 5th and 6th grade. Especially compared to previous years, because I've been on the board for quite some time and then also on the Title I committee. Mm-hmm. What do you attribute that to? Do you think it's the implementation of Wonders and iReady? What do you attribute that to?
I think it's a domino effect. I think when you go to 3rd grade, and I have a son in 2nd grade, so I'm seeing the growth of him right now. 3rd grade's a big jump, and you're just starting all these state assessments, so it's a lot for a little person. And I think once you're practicing and getting used to doing these activities and these assignments, and the programs that we bought helps with practicing these problem-based learning activities, I think that's helping attribute to the growth that we're seeing here. And I also want the teachers that are doing a phenomenal job as well. I mean, every single teacher has something to do with that. They're growing from 3rd, 4th, 5th. It's a building block. School's a building block, so we're building on everything.
Yeah, for sure. I never saw growth like that in 5th and 6th grade before here in Little Egg Harbor. So kudos to all of the teachers out there. Mm-hmm. That's really saying something. So good job. Thank you.
Now, we're starting new assessments this year, correct?
We are. Adaptive.
I'm going to let you know that the feedback from my students, they can't stand adaptive assignments because, right, they get harder, or are they going to take more of the same question?
They do the first question. We still don't know much about the assessment coming out, but the first question comes out and it'll either get, depending how you answer, it'll get harder or it'll get easier.
So then, I guess the question is then we're not going to understand this. At least we're looking at peer-to-peer relationships.
Right.
That will no longer be.
I think we need to see the data first. I can't, they're doing some practice trials in November. I think we need to see what it looks like. We don't know what the data is going to look like.
And I guess what it's like, is there a percentage based with approaching expectations? Is that like 65% of the material, or it doesn't correlate to a percentage?
The state doesn't really tell us whether it correlates to the percentage. They don't tell us any of this stuff. So I wish they did. I think that would help us dive deeper into the data. But about 1/3 of our population is approaching, and that's why we're really focusing on small group instruction in our WIN periods and our RTI periods, because they're just a couple questions away from passing.
Yeah. I'm probably on the opposite, but I mean 30% that are not, if you look at those numbers, you pull your yellow with your green, you're approaching, those are good numbers. They're very good numbers overall, basically based on what we're seeing from the state and the amount of students that are not math ready to graduate high school. I don't know what happens between here and there, but something, because they're leaving here at a good point to take on new information. And of course, I always love to look at more, based on the race subgroups and see where that all falls in nitpicks if you put it all together with the race, the gender, and free and reduced lunch and all of that to see, but that'd be interesting to see. Thank you.
I have a question. Sure. So based on consistency, like you said, I think that maybe is a reason for our improved numbers. I'm a little bit more critical. I think we should be above 50%. I know we're doing better than the state, but I still would like to see us. I know grade 6 is doing great. Is there any special interventions for the 4th grade? Anything more than what you're doing?
I know it looks like the 4th grade went down, but they really didn't go down. That same cohort did improve. That's why I wanted to show that. But again, we're doing the same things we're doing in all the classes. We're focusing on that small group instruction. We're focusing on using that iReady My Path. We bought a progress mom, the universal screener for Dibbles, which will help assist with those specific targeting ELA standards that need to be, assisted with. And the nice thing about the program is it breaks it down to small groups for you and gives you activities and assignments. So I think after we utilize Dibbles, that's going to help with our improve as well.
More consistent curriculum too, right? Across the board.
100%. And
science.
We're consistent across the board, especially in our resource and self-contained classes.
Okay, that's great. Wonders is for science, or do you have?
That's our new ELA program. This is our year 2.
Okay, that's what I thought. And I think that's it. Thank you.
I just want to add one more thing. Considering that these were done after a year when we did major cuts in the district, I think a lot has to be said for our teachers and how much
absolutely
that they kept at the same momentum to have our students rise above. It was a great job by everybody. Thank you.
Programs too, to get used to and learn, right? Different programs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next we have Mrs. Tresolino with our self-assessment presentation.
Yeah, it's going to be on video. We have it on video. She recorded it, so because she was unable to be here, so she recorded it.
Okay.
So we're going to watch it.
We're going to watch it. Okay.
It's
Good evening. I'm Jackie Tresolino, Director of Personnel Planning and Evaluation for the Little Lake Harbor School District. I'm also the district's anti-bullying coordinator, and tonight I'm presenting our 2024-2025 HIBS self-assessment scores. This submission is required under the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Act. The scores for each school must be presented and board approved, and then submitted to the New Jersey Department of Education by October 31st. The NJDOE reviews and validates the scores and will release the official scores in the spring of 2026. Once provided with the official scores, they will be presented to the Board of Education and the scores will be posted on our district and school websites. There are 8 core elements of the self-assessment: HIB programs, approaches, or other initiatives, training on the Board of Education approved HIB policy and procedures, other staff instruction and training programs, curriculum and instruction on HIB and related information and skills, HIB personnel, school-level HIB incident reporting procedures, HIB investigation procedures, and HIB reporting. We are also required to report the number of times a preliminary determination was made that a possible HIB was outside of the scope of the definition of HIB and therefore not investigated as a possible HIB. This information was previously recorded during the 2 SSDS presentations last year. Self-assessment is completed by the school anti-bullying specialist and reviewed at their school safety climate committee meetings, which include administrators, staff members, and parents. The anti-bullying specialists for our district are John McGrath, Sandy Close, and Megan Gunston. The team at the Frog Pond School scored themselves a 77 out of 78 possible points. The teams at both the Mitchell School and the ECC scored themselves a perfect 78 out of 78 possible points. When the teams met recently, they discussed focus areas for the 25-26 school year. The team at the ECC is planning for activities throughout the year, such as the Great Kindness Challenge and others. They are also creating Hoot Hooray reinforcements for positive behaviors and attendance awards. The team at the Frog Pond School are identifying non-tangible incentives to recognize students for positive behaviors, such as extra recess time and time to visit a specific staff member. This team also wants to schedule an extra school safety climate team meeting to continue working in this area. At the Mitchell School, their team is planning to focus on bus and cafeteria expectations and provide activities and incentives to improve student behaviors in those areas. I'd like to thank you for your attention to this presentation. I will be reporting to you again 2 times this year to update the board and the public on our programs, trainings, and student behaviors and investigations related to HIV and school climate. If you have any questions, please always feel free to reach out to me. Thank you and have a good evening.
Okay, any questions? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Action items, I recommend a motion to approve finance items A through F. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question. Sorry I didn't email this ahead of time. I was just reviewing the bills list, Carl, and I'm just wondering, it's like Bloom or Blum, it's $30-some thousand for replacement chargers. Was that due to the leak in the ceiling?
Yes.
That's my question.
That was, and we are filing an insurance claim for it.
Excellent, that was my question. And sorry I didn't get to send that ahead of time.
Okay, anyone else?
Question. Is that the thing she was just talking about? Is that like the charging device that saves energy? Or like a device that saves energy?
It was computer chargers and.
Gotcha. Okay. It's like green and white.
Or 8 Chromebooks, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay, roll call please.
Mr. Chicchione?
Yes.
Mr. Filicello?
Yes.
Ms. Lawrence?
Yes.
Mr. Leshega?
Yes.
Dr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Urban?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Recommend a motion to approve facilities items A and B. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Are there any questions? Obsolete equipment. Okay, seeing none, roll call please.
Mr. Chicchione?
Yes.
Mr. Filicello?
Yes.
Ms. Lawrence?
Yes.
Mr. Leshega?
Yes.
Dr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Urban?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Recommend a motion to approve school business administrators non-personnel items A through M. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
And a second? Are there any questions?
Yes, just with regards to G and the parent contract, is that a standard rate or is that a negotiated rate for $25 per day?
This was a negotiated rate prior to me becoming your school business administrator. I believe it went into effect last year. It's been that way for a few years.
Is that something that, I mean, it's
a low amount.
I mean, but it's triple aided little. If you put it in that perspective.
If you put it in that perspective, yes.
So that's why I'm trying to
Again,
figure
I
out.
would have to go back in your records to see when it was first approved and negotiated, but it's been that rate for quite a while.
Okay. And it's only for the days the child attends school?
Excuse me?
Only for the day the child attends school?
Yes.
I just want to comment on letter D, note before. As many of you know, I've been on the cybersecurity committee when we had it, pushing for some sort of security awareness training and increasing our cybersecurity protection. 90% of hacks happen through email and social engineering, and I know for a fact that this company is at the forefront of battling that battle. So it's a very good company, and it's definitely a wise investment given how much we rely on electronic data, online internet use, storage of data. So I think that's a really good step in the right direction to help, hopefully, ward off any malicious activity.
Thank you, Chris.
I just wanted to comment on A. I just want to say thank you to everybody who made donations on this list. So Seacrest Village, Reading for Education, Donor's Choice, Applebee's in Manahawkin, go spend some money there because they donated. Little Lake Harbor PTO, make sure you join that PTO. Thank you for the donation. And Sandy Keys for the pumpkins.
Yeah. HPTO mini grant.
Oh, great.
You took my thunder, Greg. I was going to say, I've noticed that we're getting not only more donations, but more highly monetary donations, higher monetary donations.
It's great to see.
Yeah, thank you.
Very nice.
And I want to say that Sandy Keys has donated probably for 20 years since my oldest was here, so that's how long.
That's fantastic.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Ciccone?
Yes.
Mr. Filicello?
Yes.
Ms. Lawrence? Mr. Leshego?
Yes.
Dr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Erber?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Recommend a motion to approve personnel items A through H. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, are there any questions?
This is page 5 through,
It's all the way.
through 10 or 9.
H. Yeah.
Okay, my just question is regarding to, the part-time bus driver salary. How many hours does that, come out to?
The part-time bus drivers are hired at 29 and a half hours per week.
And is that a normal, traditional time that, like, they would run a day, I guess is my question.
It covers the hours that they would be driving the bus, plus a few additional hours, which they'll be helping us out in our district during their non-driving hours. That was discussed in our finance committee meeting.
Yeah, I did not hear what other activities they would be doing.
We're putting a list together of any of the areas in our district that we're a little bit short-staffed with, such as maintenance, supplies, paperwork in offices, deliveries, anything that they could help out with in the district.
Even child supervision, I think you mentioned, with on the playground, et cetera.
Correct.
Because they are certified to be with children.
Non-classroom activities.
Okay, anybody else? Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ciccone?
Yes.
Mr. Filicello?
Yes.
Ms. Lawrence? Mr. Leshego?
Yes.
Dr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Erber?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Recommend a motion to approve superintendent of schools non-personnel items A and B. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Are there any questions?
I guess it's 4. Can we see those? The district goals so that everybody here can see them? And our board goals, I guess if they're available.
Thank you, Dr. Antoinette. Keeping that organized. I have the email you sent me, so I can speak to those after you're done.
You can go to the next one. Okay, you don't have the right one. Go to the one that Crystal sent today. I have it here. I apologize. We have it. We made one specifically. I will send it to you again.
You can always look at first.
Yeah, just the, I'm gonna send it to Terry.
I can speak to our goals real quick. Kind of proud of the progress so far. and I won't read the whole thing, but the Board of Education will work with the superintendent and school business administrator via the finance committee to review and analyze transportation operations, safety, and cost effectiveness by receiving a minimum of 3 status updates, and we're in the process of doing that. And we have a very in-depth transportation plan in place, and the board will be keeping an eye on that. I'm so proud to say we're leasing buses lease to purchase instead of purchasing outright buses, which we can't afford. So that's a positive thing. Our second goal, we will work collaboratively with the school business administrator to enhance financial transparency and efficiency by reviewing quarterly budget to actual reports. And that I'm very excited about, and I think the finance committee is committed to doing that. In the very near future, we will be getting a financial status report from our auditors, which will be very informative for us, and then we'll relay that to the public as well. And then each member is working on their education, I should say. Just, professional development, improvement, and attending pertinent educational sessions that will help us in our board functions. And that pretty much encapsulates our board goals and the updates. And I have to say, a couple of members already achieved that goal that we have there for attending education sessions. Okay, thank you.
Overachievers.
What's that? Overachievers. Okay. And the workshop's coming up.
Another one.
So we did explain that these goals are all living goals, so they can always be adjusted, changed, revised, updated, just like the teachers can revise theirs. We do the same, and we do have the district goals, which we will bring up because they were prepared. There are 4 district goals that are SMART goals. By the end of the 25-26 school year, we're going to increase our academic growth across the district in ELA and math by 2% in grades 4 through 6 as measured by district assessments and or the NJSLA, as Ms. Gallagher talked a little bit about tonight. Another goal is to increase student engagement opportunities by strengthening positive relationships between the Little Lake Harbor school community and the broader community. And third goal is that we will reduce the rate of chronic absenteeism among students in Little Lake Harbor School District as compared to the 24-25 school year through targeted interventions such as regular attendance monitoring, parent outreach, attendance incentive programs, and partnerships with community support services. And the last SMART goal for the district is to conduct a comprehensive analysis of transportation operations, safety, and cost effectiveness in the Little Lake Harbor School District, identify and implement at least 2 actionable improvements, such as route optimization, safety enhancements, or fleet management planning to increase efficiency, reduce costs, and improve student safety. So what you see up on the screen now are the 3 board goals that Mr. Herbert talked about. And then I don't know if anybody has any additional questions about that since they're up now. And then the second slide there are what I just shared with you for the district goals.
So the ones that line up, if you go back to the board goals real quick. So the transportation's on both. The budget isn't.
But more so with regard to the finances on the one goal.
Mm-hmm.
And keeping astute on our finances, and that's really what we as a board kind of promised we would do, right? With that huge tax increase, that we would monitor where the money's going, where it's being spent. Any other questions?
Well, if you go to our district goals there. So I guess for community engagement, what is the purpose? Just to have more parent involvement, or is there specific things that we're looking to target? Are we considering developing our strategic plan? Like, what is the district's thoughts on that?
So all of the above. The strategic plan is its own standalone. Actually, if the district wants to go that route, that's a board goal for sure. However, it's just engaging the community, getting us out to the community, getting the community into us. Being available, being visible, being present, being able to just talk to people when going out, meeting people where they are. That's what we're hoping for that. So as a result of that, that increases just the community environment of our schools.
So that would be the administration team, you and the administration team going out?
Just me, it could be some of the administration, it could be me and some board members, it could be any combination of stakeholders.
And how many events do you propose?
I'm looking at that now, not just me, we're all looking at that together.
What did you share, Lisa? Sorry, I put you on the spot, like some names of those.
Well, we were actually talking about that, and Mr. Filicello came up with pizza with Lisa, and we talked about like coffee and conversation, and some of them we're going to offer things at different times, or I'm going to offer things at different times. So perhaps we can do something virtual, we can do something in the morning, we can do something in the evening, so that whatever can fit into people's schedules, we'll do. I saw recently do you know the Snoopy, Peanut Snoopy, where Lucy pretends to be a psychologist in. I saw something recently that I thought, well, that would be cute if we said the superintendent is in and have like a little tent at an event that if people wanted to come talk to me or whoever is there can come talk to me as a cute little way to bring people over.
Yeah, I think the fall fest coming up soon.
This weekend.
This Saturday.
Who sponsors that, the Fall Fest?
The
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce. It's being held for the second year at Pinelands Regional High School.
And I think we're they asked us to put a message out. So we're going to do that. Chamber asked us.
It's a really popular event.
Wow.
I know we were having a communications committee on the board side. Can we coincide that with what you want to do with this, Marco?
Sure. I'm just going to make a note.
Open for suggestions, right?
And the other thing is chronic absenteeism.
Yes.
I'm glad we're addressing that. It's kind of the unspoken, it's where everything starts. If you don't show up at school, we can't do anything else. So what are some things that you envision us taking proaction steps to get more kids into the school?
Well, right now we're gathering all the data. So we have the data that I presented previously, and then I'm gathering data as per a question from Dr. Snyder. So we're gathering that, and actually some of that is on my desk, but I just received it, so I wasn't prepared to talk about it. And from there, we'll have a committee that starts. Part of that is an attendance officer that we are going to fund, if it's approved, through the grant, the SEA federal grant. That person will also be held accountable, working with us and the principals, the building-based administrators, in doing some reach out, doing some data collection, and doing some things that haven't been done in the district previously for any number of reasons. That's where we're starting.
In regard to incentive programs, I know we have ones for at the end of the year for perfect attendance. Do we do anything like monthly or quarterly, or that we're thinking about implementing?
So I know some of the buildings, the buildings do things individually, but I've been speaking with the PTO about perhaps doing some things as well. So we are having some conversations about that.
Awesome. I have a 7th grader, and they basically do who had perfect attendance for the month at Pinelands Junior High. They all get put onto a wheel, and then they spin it, and whatever name, they pick 3 names, and then they get a Chick-fil-A gift card.
Oh, fun.
So he was very excited to get that.
Excellent. Thank you.
It's a great idea.
For the transportation, I'd like to see, I don't know if you're thinking about this, doing some kind of survey of all the parents that line up an hour early to pick up their kids. It's a great sitting audience. I'm sure you can get a lot of feedback. Why are they there so early? What can we do to improve the parent pickup? What would convince you not to pick up your kid? And stuff like that.
So I know Mr. Cofer talked about that previously when he did his presentation, and the conversations he has with parents is essentially a survey because he does talk to them. Mm-hmm. So, we can certainly gather that anecdotal data for sure.
I think we would like something more formal to see cut and dry what it looks like. Like if you surveyed parents and said, listen, if your child is only on a bus going directly to the school that your child is attending, if your child is no longer on a bus with K through 6, will that change your decision to drop off or pick up?
We can look into that for sure.
I think, right, Chris, isn't that what you're looking for?
Yeah, we're assuming that we know why people are doing it, but we never know until we ask. And, it's just a scientific way to get feedback from the community.
I think Jackie Tresolino's report said that she was entering in or in charge of climate survey with staff, students, and I think that was one of her slides that she had up there, so we can maybe go through her. But on the attendance officer part, I just want to say that the job description on the agenda tonight, I'm just so glad I read it, and there is a responsibility to report or send a letter to parents that if you're 4 days or more, whether they're consecutive or not.
This has been in place for years, though. When did it stop?
Since 2018, actually, it became a law. And
But we've always received letters like every 4 days. It's not like we haven't received them.
Oh, no, people have received, and also some phone calls, verbal calls. It's risen to the top in New Jersey because it became part of the monitoring system, and so it's risen to the top, although it's been an acute problem for years across the state.
And I would think that during COVID, that might have fallen off the plate a little bit.
Perhaps.
Okay, any further discussion?
About that attendance policy, just if we can we remove that?
Yeah, I saw that. You said, you had.
Because that's for second
college
grade.
visits. Yeah, I saw that. College visits.
There's college visits in there. This is no need to have it part of our policy.
Right.
I don't think anyone's. I was like, oh, maybe because his siblings go, but no, it was if they were attending it, it was an age range.
Yeah, it just encompasses the statute and code. That's
yeah.
That's really what that's about. It doesn't affect us, but I
But I
took
that's
note.
the purpose of the policy committee is to revise it. So.
Right, I took note of that.
So what are we doing? We're taking it off?
No, not the whole policy.
No, just taking that statement out. Is that what you said?
I would like to. I don't know if he has to come back on for a read again. So table until next month.
Yeah, I think it would have to come back.
Or
because we've had the opportunity to do this.
Sure. You can also vote to make that adjustment.
Revise.
Now, and
Okay, make the motion then.
This is second.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, like what line it was at.
It's number
I know what the policy is, but I don't know where it is exactly.
Number 5.
I make a motion for number. I have 7.
Why don't we just put it on? For
Okay,
next
that's
month?
fine.
Yeah,
We can bring it
next
back.
month.
So just table the regulation.
Yes.
Okay, it's just the regulation.
It's just a regulation. Okay.
And I'll adjust that.
Okay, so can you make the motion, Christine?
I make a motion to table number 7 policy regulation 5200 on attendance until next board meeting until it's revised.
Perfect. Second?
Second.
Okay. All right, now, just a reminder, A and B, right? This is what we're voting on. Any other questions? Non-personnel items A and B. That's it?
I just, I know I had asked about this, I'm sorry, about 5350, the student suicide prevention, and I didn't write it down, but there is something that is, and I don't know if it's something that our district can do, because I did ask how often staff were monitored, not monitored, but trained in regarding to this, because for myself as a college professor, this is uncharted territory, and I have students coming to me with things going on in their lives that I have not been trained to deal with. But there is something with this, I think it's with the Sandy Hook Promise, and I can't remember the name of the affiliation, but it's a way to report that if you feel like a student,
oh, that's by law.
a student is like a classmate or anything like that, might harm themselves or something might happen, that you can report it anonymously. And it's part of a training program to teach them how to respectfully use social media and things like that. And I don't know if there's a fee associated with it, but if it's not, it might be something.
But we've had a month to revise this, so we're not.
I'm not revising the policy, I'm saying about adding something to the district. It's a program. It's not, it just made me think of it. That's all, Laura. I wasn't changing the policy.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? The business policy follows statute.
With respect, though, I am going to ask again, this is probably about the third or fourth time, can we please receive these policies perhaps when the policy committee meets to review them? Because we did not receive these until Friday, and it does not really give a lot of time for us to look over them.
No, you received them last month as a first read. All of them were on the first read.
I wasn't at last month's meeting, so I did review it afterwards, but when I went looking through this one, that's why I'm asking. But nevertheless, I'm asking that we get them in advance. When the policy committee receives which policies you're reviewing, I'm asking that the whole board receives them. And I think it's similar to what Greg had requested.
Yeah, I would second that. I think the more information from Chloe, the better. I feel like we're always on the tail end of some of this info.
Well, that's what happens with committees, but it's a moot point if the board moves to work sessions. So.
I mean, we can strive it. I would think it would fix it if we just get the agenda early. They would be attached to the agenda and solve that problem, right?
Yeah. Right, because the
So
attendance policy would have been modified, and we would have been able to vote on it tonight had we had it in advance.
So can we finally agree to get the agendas out for those committees when?
That's something brand new. We've never done that before, but I guess, Dr. Antunes, what do you think?
We'll do our best.
Okay.
We'll do our best.
I mean, I don't see any value in gatekeeping information and just adding a couple more emails onto an agenda. I don't see why it would be.
Yeah, you're just saying for the committee meetings that are coming up, the agenda that we get ahead of time, it goes out to the whole board versus just the committee members.
Correct, exactly.
Yeah, makes sense.
Hopefully everybody reads it.
Because then that's helpful to know what's being discussed. If someone forgets to do minutes like myself, people know what was talked about.
Right. Well, we always share the minutes, whether it be here, right, or via the email. Okay. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Cicchione?
Yes.
Mr. Filicello?
Yes.
Ms. Lawrence?
Yes.
Mr. LeShega?
Yes.
Dr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
Ms. Irvin?
Yes.
The motion carries.
Okay. Now we have new business tonight.
Yes.
I need a motion to approve the following recommendations of the superintendent. Resolve that the Board of Education approve the new job description for a per diem administrator.
Motion?
Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Okay. I have a second.
Second.
Are there any questions? No questions? Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cicchione?
Yes.
Mr. Filicello?
Yes.
Ms. Lawrence?
Yes.
Mr. LeShega?
Yes.
Dr. Snyder?
Yes.
Ms. Martin?
Yes.
And Ms. Irvin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, public comment.
Laura, just under new business, I would like us to really look to moving forward to the climate survey and what needs to be done. Whether it's Dr. Antunes, someone on the admin team, but I do think that that's something that I think I would really like to see moving forward, to see where we are in the district as a whole, so we can evaluate. And I also too think that would be a good precursor to a strategic plan, to know what also too is on the pulse of the community as well.
Thank you for commenting on that. Dr. Antunes will delegate to the right person, because I did see it on the head report tonight.
And I do have some of our former surveys from our former superintendent. If you want a copy of it and those results, I still have a draft of that.
Was that shared with the board again?
It was, but if you didn't save it to your computer, you won't have access to it. I must have saved the PDF file because I do have a copy of it. So if you want to see what questions were asked and things like that, just as a baseline.
I'd want to see it.
You didn't save your copy?
Okay. Ready for public comment? The floor is now open to members of the public. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues. The board requests that each statement made by a participant is limited to 3 minutes as per policy 0167. There's a sign-in sheet located on the podium. Please sign in before you speak. Would anyone like to speak?
Good afternoon, my name is Matthew Smith. My children attend the district here. And just a comment on the attendance part, we are still being told to sign our child out of Miss Randall's class, so there's been no action on that. So I don't know how you want to address attendance issues when we're being told to sign the child out still. But I'll cover more on that in a minute. I am here once again to discuss the ongoing issue with your employee, Angela Randall. Over the past month, since Charlie Kirk was publicly assassinated, I have been in contact with almost all of you here tonight, and I can confidently say that I have just as many answers as I do now as I did at the September board meeting, and that is none. This extended silence is unacceptable. Email responses back with no actual plan or update is unacceptable. Parents have been patient, and we deserve to know what our children are being subject to in the classroom. The lack of communication has only increased frustration and concern. As a reminder, Angela Randall, on her public Facebook account, moments after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, made a post applauding his murder. Randall, again, on her public Facebook, willingly posted, "Christians are not safe," and I quote, "The biggest danger of taking your kid to a drag show is that Christians could show up with a gun." Now, I just want to comment on that real quick with what some of the board members said tonight about suicide and stuff like that. We have a teacher that are coming at and targeting Christians. Now, the superintendent, the principal, they were all sent multiple screenshots of her Facebook account. And I would like to address the public in all to email the superintendent because your children are on there, not just from this year, but from multiple years. It is not a link. These are actual pictures of children. I don't know what radicalized this, what extremist group she's with, but her ideologies are being pushed in the classroom. Give me 1 second and I'll just read it verbatim here. Okay, this is one of her pictures on her account. It says, "Ring, there is a person at your anus. A equals anus," with children in her classroom posted underneath that with a bunch of pride propaganda all over the place. Now, she's pushing her ideologies, her political views of people that don't agree with her political views being assassinated, and she's applauding it, and now targeting people's religious views. That is radicalization. That she is an extremist. What groups on her social media have these children now been subject to? What radical groups? Is Antifa on there? What other groups are on here that these kids are subject to? Did anybody that received these emails, the superintendent, the principal, did anybody reach out to the parents? Because there's multiple years of kids on her Facebook. Did anybody reach out to the parents? And I would ask all the parents to please reach out to the superintendent and email them their concerns. And if they have any information on this, you can come to me and give me the information if you want to remain anonymous. It is absolutely disgusting.
30 seconds, Mr. Smith.
Randall has also used her own, not associated with the school district, Facebook account to publicly post district children without parental consent. Up until this year, Randall's classroom was decorated in an overwhelming amount of rainbows and pride propaganda, including pride flags and pride line Disney characters and accessories. There is no way to justify that as a pure and innocent. We are all aware of the intention behind the decorations and referring to herself as the rainbow teacher. This is going...
I have to give other people a chance to speak. I'm sorry. 4 minutes, 34 seconds. I have to.
This has gone long enough. We have no answers, and you're coming at me saying you got to do what's legal, and we're taking what's legal what legal advice you're getting from somebody that was interrupting last week. So I would like to have my time this week and not following and not knowing what the board rules were last week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With regard to your questions, I can assure you someone from the administration will be getting back to you.
Well, I would like that the board members please hold the superintendent accountable if she's not properly holding her people accountable. This trickles down to the bus, it trickles down to all the children being held accountable.
Anyone else like to speak?
You
already have.
Thank you.
Hello? Okay. My name is Cindy Castaldo, and I kind of had to change my speech a little bit because it's refreshing seeing a new board attorney. I just want to confirm that I have Dr. Antunez's attention because at the last meeting, while multiple parents, including myself, were speaking on a serious matter, not only did I witness side conversations and laughter amongst yourself and the board attorney, but you were openly using your cell phone when I was speaking. Yet the only speaker who received your full attention was the one defending the teacher who publicly promoted discriminatory and dangerous ideology. That alone says everything. Lisa Antunez, my last correspondence with you went ignored when you gave me no response if the staff member in question was still teaching, and also who is teaching my children. Thankfully, one of the staff members reached out to me and let me know that the teacher was suspended and I wouldn't have to pick my children up for the 40 minutes that I did several times, and they can actually enjoy the class. This is something that should have fallen on your shoulders, and the lack of communication and transparency about this matter is absolutely atrocious. You had an opportunity to demonstrate integrity, holding accountability, and leadership, and you utterly failed. You failed to show the children of this district what is acceptable and what is not. You failed to uphold the standards you claim this district stands for. You failed to enforce your own district policy, Policy 3282, which you told me that you were clearly aware of, which the first bullet point states, no staff should make any statement that violates any district policies, including those concerning discrimination or harassment. What was shared by this teacher violated that policy, period. The consequences did not fit the action. It was the quiet removal of flags, and that is not what this is about. This isn't about gay or straight, left or right. This is about publicly shared rhetoric by a teacher that targets a specific group, violates district policy, and sends a chilling message to families like mine and throughout the district. Removing a symbol from a wall is not discipline. It's a distraction. It does nothing to address the harm already caused or the precedent you're settling by refusing to act. You have chosen silence. You have chosen to protect the district from litigation rather than protect the students in your care. You've chosen to hide behind legal scripts, sidestep responsibility, hoping the situation would fade away quietly. That is not leadership. That is, again, avoidance. If the teacher had posted, the biggest danger to my Christian children in a public school is a member of the LGBT community coming in with a gun, would you be allowing that? I would be as outraged as I am now because those words are disgusting in itself. But would you claim it was still a personal matter with no bearing on their role as an educator, or would the outcome differ? Because that is exactly the message we are dealing with here, just inverted, and your refusal to act on it sends a message that bigotry is negotiable in this district. Let me be clear, I will not stop. Not until this administration issues a clear public statement that discriminatory rhetoric, online or in person, has no place in our schools. Not until we see action that aligns with the policies set in place. And not until this district discriminates, it's that it protects all students, not the ones that just fit your comfort zone. I would also like to know how long this teacher is on their suspension and when they will be returning to the classroom. And Lisa, it's a shame that this entire time I've been speaking, you have done nothing but write down and look. You have not looked at me once. And that is absolutely disgusting, and you're still doing the same. What a shame. Shame on you.
Thank you. To speak.
Well, explains a lot.
Hello. My name is Kevin Sarah. I'm quite new to this town. I've been here about a year. God bless you both for standing up here and speaking the truth. It's not even what I was going to address when I came up here, but I stand with you both on that very much. So what I do want to discuss, it was in light to the science aspect of the agenda. I moved down here to start a farm. My family and I are building one down on Route 9. I've had the pleasure of talking some of your ears off about that in the past. Earth science in regard to our science curriculum, I think, is a very crucial part in the beginning, especially with, grades 3 to 6 probably would affect more. George J. Mitchell, my daughter's in 2nd grade right now. She loves it out back, but she just wants to find worms. So something I think we should focus on is more outside learning, gardening, measuring, tracking the growth of vegetables, flowers, all types of things. I've discussed with my family, we would be open to donating and assembling a greenhouse at Frog Pond if that is something that you would consider. I know volunteers in this town are plentiful. I think the well-being of our kids is the utmost of importance, and I think hands-on learning is really the best approach. My mother's been in schooling pretty much her entire life. She's got a master's in early childhood development. She's adamant about hands-on, mostly outdoor activities. I understand we have harsh winters sometimes where the greenhouse would kind of come into play there. With that regard, we could build out an entire program around this. Student-run greenhouses, student-run farm markets. We have tons of local producers in the town that would be willing to be vendors, buy table space, something that could bring revenue to the school. We have plenty of open space at both schools to do so. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of the program of that, but I would be willing to volunteer myself. I'm involved in groups such as NOFA, the Northeast Farmers Association. I have contacts at Farmland Preservation, as well as just the agriculture departments of the county and the state. So I think it's something that we should seriously consider, getting our students hands-on, outside, learning these things, developing a quality of life and some self-esteem around that. Kids watch things that they plant grow. They track it, they sell it, they see something come from it. It makes them happy, makes their parents happy, and it builds something in this community that we can all really be proud of. So, I'm open to talk to any one of you. I know some of you. That's pretty much all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to maybe steer him first toward PTO and then maybe the administration. Some of those ideas? Okay, Mr.
I'm going to say this, I would love to see some farm to table in our cafeteria, but that's...
Oh, yeah. That's
sorry, am I outreaching?
That happens. Fruits and vegetables. Okay, would anyone else like to speak?
Hello?
Hi, my name is Dana Gann. I'm a parent at George Mitchell, and I've been in the district 17 years as a substitute and a permanent employee, and I make $17.37 an hour. I love working with the kids. I love helping them have the best day they could possibly have. And I was disappointed to see that the district brought in part-time aides at $25 an hour. I understand they're not getting health insurance, but I don't take the health insurance. So I'm hoping the district can find a way to increase our health waiver to bring us up to the part-time people that will now be working less and making more money with us. Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak?
Sorry, I'm not really good holding mics and stuff. Before I say anything, I just want to say that the words that I'm going to say are my words. They're nobody. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Tom's Page. I apologize. The words that I'm going to say, two things before I begin. One, anything I say, it's my opinion. Although, however, some of it is based on hearing it from the left ear, the right ear, in every place I wander around the school. But a lot of people are afraid to step up and say anything because they don't want to put their head on the chopping block, and I don't blame them. The second thing I want to say before I begin is, a lot of you might not know who I am. I'm the art teacher here at Frog Pond. I've been here about 9 years, but I've been doing this for about 20. And I not just taught art. I taught 6th grade for 4 or 5 years. I taught 3rd grade, all general ed. So I've been around it a bit. I'm also, in the summer, I work as a laborer for Public Works. Not real high paying, but that's not why I do it. And the reason I bring this up, listen, I've been a community member. I've been a volunteer coach for Pinelands Recreational Soccer I did it for over 10 years, not seasons, years. I have kids that have gone through the school system and they're in Pinelands now. I've been a member of my local board of ed, Tuckton, and I only stepped down because my time is coming up. And usually it'd be easy to run into an incumbent, but I knew there were parents that had students that were coming into the school that wanted to be on the board, and I wanted to open up those avenues. I think it's important that your board members have vested interest in the school, and nobody has more vested interest than a parent, right? I say all this because of two things. I originally came up here to speak on something regarding finances, but I would be remiss if I didn't say that I know that there's an issue right now with one of the teachers being out, our STEAM teacher. I understand that a foolish but rather ambiguous comment was made on Facebook. And from what I understand, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I've seen screenshots because they get shared like mad because the bane of our existence is social media anymore. And I just think it should be known that like I said, I've been around the block and I was doing sales and stuff like that way before I became a teacher. And I've met a lot of teachers. And I'd be hard pressed to find a teacher that is more dedicated to their students and having their students become engaged in learning, to be involved, is there for every student, regardless of how those students treat her sometimes. Because I've seen some students be pretty rude and pretty mean. And she's always welcoming. And if anybody out there in the ether thinks that a special areas teacher that gets 40 minutes a week with a student has the time in that 40 minutes to do any kind of indoctrination of their student or press any kind of thoughts, it's so outlandish.
Talk to your kids when they come home.
Talk
to your kids when they come home.
We're not doing this. We're not going back and forth.
I don't mean it.
Hey, you did it to me last time. You did it at the last board.
I'm just saying that I I have my kids. I've watched them go through school. I'm just telling you that she's a good person, and I've never, in all my time, because I would have said something. I've never seen her push any kind of agenda or anything else. I think that we're worried about like rainbow flags and things like that.
No, it's pride propaganda. Is what it is.
15 seconds, sir.
That's not what we're worried about.
I keep getting stop. I was just going to say.
Welcome to our world.
Go ahead.
Pardon me, sir. Excuse me.
I know, but I didn't interrupt you, did
No, but they did last
I
time.
didn't.
Okay, let him finish, please.
That isn't what I was up here for. It doesn't matter, okay? I'm just saying that you're losing a really good teacher, is all I'm saying. But the thing I came up here for, and I'm trying to be as quickly as possible, I was looking at this bus thing, and we keep throwing money at the bus thing. Last year, you had a 32.6% increase in your taxes, and you didn't cut anybody. You did cut some employees. I mean, it takes 2 weeks to get something fixed sometimes. It was a less, reliable disposal staff. Not that the janitors and stuff they here now aren't, but we lost some good ones. And when it comes to budgets, like, listen, I have a consumables class. And for those who don't understand what that means, it means that anything that goes out never comes back. Paint, parts, stuff like that. I have a budget of 96 cents a student. Try to go to the store and buy a year's worth of art supplies for your student for 96 cents. You're not going to do it, but I figure out a way to do it because that's what we do. And I do some double-edged swords, we have fundraisers, whatever. I bring funds in. I don't ask for extra money. I put all new furniture in my classroom, all for fundraisers I did. I came to the board, and I'm sure the board knows, last year I sent everybody an email and said, hey, I have some ideas that might help here and there. And I'm glad to see that you're using the electricity, you're doing the solar thing, correct? That's great. Oh, you keep throwing money at buses at $35K for a part-time. It's 29 and a half hours. My question is this. Is it a 10-month or 12-month employee? Number one. Number two, what are they going to do in the downtime? You're very, very obtuse about that. I didn't come and ask any questions about the stuff on the agenda because I didn't know what was going to be approved or what was approved. And seeing that you guys approved it, it doesn't make any sense to me. Was there a cost-benefit analysis done on getting the buses? That's my question.
Yes.
Okay?
Thank you very much.
But did it include not only the $140K a year in lease payments, but it include how much fuel is going to cost?
I believe we shared that in
Insurance,
the previous meeting, and you can look it up.
maintenance.
There was a presentation on it.
There was a presentation.
How is that really? And I just said that my question is that going to be?
Okay, yeah, we're done. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, listen.
Thank you very much. Just review that.
There's 35 kids in a classroom, but we're buying a bunch of buses we don't need.
That's my question.
Not on the same subject.
Well, it's just kind of been,
You can speak on a different subject, but you've had your time for that subject.
well, it's just kind of.
That's what our policy said. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay then, that's fine.
Carl, can you give the cliff notes on the bus safety? Okay.
Different subject, right?
Yeah.
I just want to point something out real quick, just because, we're talking about good teachers, we let go of a bunch of teachers, so if one needs to be replaced, there's that. And the second thing is I don't believe that someone should be speaking on who is a good teacher and who isn't a good teacher when the first day of the school year, every single grade has been told, don't worry, I'm not Mrs. Eastburn. Don't worry, I'm not going to remember any of your names for the school year.
Thank you.
May I speak on that? It's a different subject. It's a different subject, right? I think we're all.
I think we're going to let somebody else speak. A different speaker, if we have. Anybody else? No. Okay, yeah, we're going to close public comment now. Thank you very much.
Carl, can you give the cliff notes really quick on the transportation, just what we're saving a year, kind of some of the costs that we went into?
Okay, what I will address is this. if anyone missed the board meeting where we gave the transportation presentation, I believe you can review it on our website. If you go back to that, the transportation plan is there. It will answer probably 85% of the questions that were asked tonight. If there are any other further questions past that, please reach out to me in my office, and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Morelli.
And I'm not sure if Mrs. Gant was talking about substitute paras rates or our permanent para salaries.
I believe she's discussing the new
rates,
but when she
was discussing her rate, was that for substitute or full-time?
Permanent part-time.
She can always come to talk to Mr. Morelli.
We have
as well.
permanent part-time?
I guess they were hired years ago. I don't know exactly what they were
Yeah,
hired.
those are the new ones,
hear your
but
comments, so.
I'm trying to, because we have discussed substitutes rates. I'm looking at those in the future.
Okay, we're on the subject of board forum. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. I usually start this off. One of the frustrating things about government is that you can't always disclose what's going on behind the scenes. And I think my friends that work in the public sector or private sector find that very frustrating, that there's things that we know about, actions that are taken behind the scenes that by law we're not allowed to discuss. So just in general, if you could keep that in mind, because there is stuff going on behind the scenes every single day that we can't discuss, that we'd like to, but by law we can't. Second, Coach Kevin. All the way in the back. Coach Kevin is not only volunteering with his farm, but he's also a coach in soccer. I've got to know him quite well, and thank you for the offer to donate or build a greenhouse. I hope we follow up with that. Obviously, we live in the Pinelands, and we have very special soil around here. There's so many opportunities that we can take advantage of, like you said, just going outside. And again, he's volunteering himself to participate, and we need more volunteers. So thanks, Coach Kevin, for doing that. And just to end on a positive note, it was very encouraging to see that our scores and our test scores are heading in the right direction. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for all the teachers and the aides and all the staff that made that happen. I remember 3 years ago when we kind of charted a new course and we weren't sure, we were sure that it was going to work, but it's more exciting now to see the actual results up on the screen, that we are heading in the right direction despite all the challenges we've had over the past couple of years. So, kudos to the kids for putting in the effort to learn, and the teachers and everybody, because, that's what we're here to do, is to learn the basics, math, ELA, and science, so that they can be prepared for high school, and more importantly, be prepared for life. Thank you.
I just want to piggyback on Chris about before I became a board member, I came to many board meetings and I would sit in the audience and I would wonder how everything got voted yes, and did it really matter that I came? And it does, but I didn't know was all the things that happened in the background. We had personnel meetings, we've had finance meetings. Those meetings on average go from an hour to 2 hours. We have those meetings in addition to this meeting where we meet an executive. And again, we can't share that, and it is frustrating because maybe that would make our lives easier because we wouldn't, as so many people have told us, we have to fall on the sword for things because you don't know what we've discussed. And not one decision that we have ever made as this board, and I think I can speak for all of us, and I never like to do that, we have never done lightly. It has not come with a lot of discussion, a lot of thought, sometimes prayer, before we come to a final decision on something. And at the most forefront of all of this are our students and our staff, and what is in their best interest, and what's the best that we can do to make Little Lake Harbor School District the best that it can be, and that makes everyone want to come here, whether you're a staff, teacher, para, cafeteria worker, playground aides, bus driver, whatever it is. And that's what we think about when we try to make our decisions and do that. And again, it's not lighthearted by any means, and it weighs on us. There are some meetings when we go home, it just doesn't go away, like things weigh on us. So please keep that in mind. And I can't believe I'm going to say this and Chris didn't. Before our next meeting, this is an election year for New Jersey. As I tell my students, I do not care who you vote for. Go out and exercise your right to vote, especially if you're a woman. We have not always been granted that right. So please do not take it lightly. And thank you and have a good evening.
Well said. Anyone else?
I'll just be really quick. I second what Chris and Christine said. I struggle coming from the private sector, and I say it all the time, understanding the public sector and even the role of a board member sometimes. It's true, there are sleepless nights, countless hours of volunteer time that we spend for this district. And I joined the school board because I'm a parent of 3 boys. So speaking as a parent, I completely understand where you're coming from. Unfortunately, we can't talk about things, personnel matters, it's illegal. So just know that we're on top of it and we're talking about it and things are being done. Unfortunately, Christine mentioned the election coming up, and it will be the end of my term as of December 31st, 2025. I haven't yet said that in public, but I am saying it tonight. And it was a really hard decision for me, mainly because of my personal life and my demanding job, and not being able to give my family what they need because of the demands of being on the school board. It's a thankless job, and I have enjoyed working with all of these people up here, and I know that they will do many good things in the future to serve our school district. So I wanted to say that out loud, that, there is an election coming up. I will not be running for many, many reasons, but I know that this district is in good hands, and we have good people on the school board and in our administration. The last thing I just want to say real quickly is I'm a finance person. I followed the budget very closely last year. Transportation is our largest line item next to healthcare. So the reason why we're investing in transportation is because of that. So it's ROI, return on investment. If you invest on something, you will save money in the future. So that's all I wanted to say on that. And thanks for all the comments tonight. Have a good night.
Thank you, Abby. Anyone else?
Sure. First, I want to say congratulations to all of the students of the month. It's been a few months since we've had that presentation. It's by far my favorite presentation of the night every meeting. Great job to all the teachers, students, and admin on the NJSLA results. The results are absolutely phenomenal. I got to see that presentation a few weeks ago in a curriculum committee meeting, and just seeing the explosive growth year over year, that just really shows a huge commitment to culture and commitment to learning. So huge shout out to everybody on that. Third, it's great to see the Cofer dream starting to come true with the addition of 3 school bus drivers, which we just approved tonight. I can't wait to see all the savings roll in year over year, really helping us with our budget season coming up. And then hearing this tonight, that we offer 97 cents per student to our art teachers. I wonder if there's ways we could explore different grants that are possibly out there to get a little bit more funding to the arts. Because I know my kids absolutely love it, and hopefully I know there's a lot of passion behind that between other students as well. Thank you.
I was going to say ditto on that. They pretty much covered everything. The one thing that I did want to talk about was, as far as transportation goes, they did a great job, like Mr. Cofer, as far as the safety of the children with the nor'easter storms that we had, the storm we had here in place. That was great to plan the routes out the way they did and made sure that the children were picked up and they got home safely. Another thing that I seen was I'm very excited about the energy savings that we're going to be getting. I know that we did some walkthroughs here, Carl, and you did some, you went over some information with Mr. Cole, and you've seen some things that we could save a lot of energy. And that's great to see that we're saving money there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, everything else is very positive. Great to see that the kids are getting the grades up and they're performing well, especially in science, math, and all the other curriculum that's in place. And I think it's a great thing.
Thank you. I just want to do what everybody else said, but I also want to just say to the public, thank you for coming out, and that we do listen to your concerns, and that we do hold our administrators, our administration accountable. And I just feel like Dr. Antunes has been nothing more than transparent with us as far as the procedures and the legal ramifications and all that's going on. And so I just want to assure you of that, and we're answerable to you. So that if you want to contact any one of us, you're free to do so, and I encourage that, especially with regard to this situation. And I thank you all for coming out. We appreciate it, each and every one of you. Have a good night. Thank you. The next board meeting is November 18th, and we have committee meetings before that, I think, policy and finance.
And the convention.
Prior to that. Yeah, I like to do a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?